Today is June 8th, 2018. My name is Ronald Jackson and I'm 15.
I am Roger Jackson. I am 12.
I am Angela Jordan. I am 45.
I am Veronica Fairman, 41.
I'm Kevin Fairman, I'm 45.
Ronald Jordan, 70.
And Doris Jordan, 70.
Okay, so the topic of today's discussion is that who do you think is like more correct, or like who do you think is who has the better opinion between Du Bois or Washington? Like who do you think has the better point of the black race should advance?
Okay.
I personally think that Du Bois has a better like focus point, but in his ideas he has some flaws. Like he doesn't see through he doesn't see through Washington's eyes of how he sees the situation, because they're both born in two different situations. Du Bois is free, and Du Bois was born a slave.
You mean Booker T. Washington?
Booker T was born a slave, and how I feel like if Du Bois was born a slave, then he would have almost had the exact same mindset that Washington has, and he would probably like change his interpretation of things.
Yeah, that's possible.
That's a very good idea. Good point.
And how Miss Ojo taught it to us was that if she understood what Du Bois was talking about, and she thought that Washington was like completely like wrong. Not completely wrong, but she understood what he was talking about, but it wasn't like correct.
But she disagreed with him.
She disagreed with his
Okay.
opinion.
Okay.
I somewhat agreed with it because I understood that Du Bois wanted to so-called like jump the stereotypes that black people can't do. He wanted to like jump like every stereotype that was against black people.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to jump it from like, oh, we're right here, and then he wanted to jump over like all the other stuff and then go straight to education, while Washington just wanted to tackle them one at a time.
Okay.
It was like if Du Bois wanted to straight to like, oh, well, we should just focus on getting a higher education. Washington focused on was like, if we focus on industrial work, and if we get that out the way, and we can prove that to white people that we can do that, then that will be out of our way, and we can focus on other stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So.
It sounds like Washington had a more practical standpoint.
I agree with you, and because I think that Washington had a different view because, of course, he was a slave, so that might have been. But I think that Du Bois is right because if you promote education, then you could go outside of what people literally say. But I think working hard, that Washington's view might not have worked well because if you basically proving they were slaves work. So you just see, I think you were saying all slaves just work. So I think by providing good education, you can push blacks up and rank.
They can be more competitive with the majority society.
Yes.
Now Booker T, I think he was very practical in what he was trying to do. Even though the skills that he focused on in the industrial education or vocational training, he focused on that because the unemployment rate at that time was very high for African Americans. So he felt that by training them to be laborers and in service jobs, they could have an income to provide for their families and possibly purchase homes, purchase lands because they would have some income coming in. But the flip side of that is that Booker T's idea was going to maintain the status quo with blacks not having civil rights, being in service positions, and being laborers. All of this is the kind of work that they had done during the slave era. So much of this work they already knew how to do. Now, when it comes to advancement, like you were saying, Ronald, the advancement using Booker T would have been a slower process because he wasn't focused on civil rights. And Du Bois wanted to move into equality, opportunity, and being competitive, not only in the labor market, but he felt that in order to advance, African Americans needed to go to college and become bankers and doctors and lawyers so that they could compete with the majority of the society and not just be limited to service and labor jobs. So I guess in a way, they both had something important to contribute, but if I had to select one, I would probably go with Du Bois because he wanted to move us towards civil rights and not being second-class citizens. And he felt that the only way that we would not be second-class citizens if we had an opportunity to have the same kind of education that the majority society had.
Well, I had a position of being neutral because I think college isn't for everybody. There's some people that are good for going to college and getting a good education. The other people are good with their hands and their trade and everything. So I think both of them were right, and it depends on the individual, not just race.
Does anyone else have any other ideas?
Well, that's actually what I was going to say, because you can't have one without the other to advance. You need laborers, and you also need those who are of higher education to teach,
Right.
and to hold those positions. But like you said, college isn't for everybody, so it does depend on the individual.
Okay.
Kevin?
Well, I think they both were singing the same message, just from different aspects. They both wanted to educate their people. One just wanted to go in a different direction at a more accelerated rate. They wanted to get there faster.
Well, I think I'm kind of neutral on the subject as well because, like everybody said, they were basically saying the same thing, just a different way, trying to go in the same direction, just at different speeds. But overall, they both wanted the advancement of Black people in general, nationwide. So.
And there also were some steps that just couldn't be jumped over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Racially.
Because some of the same stuff we're dealing with in 2018 are the same things that they were dealing with then.
True.
So does that end our discussion for today?
Okay.
Does that end our discussion for today?
I think so.
I think so.
And we'll see.
Yes.